I like the word called vintage gangsters that you used for Kareem Lala, Haji Mastan, and Varadarajan Mudaliar. And of course, read the portions of all these gangsters and their connections with Bollywood, with cricket. Those parts I read, which were very interesting too. Of course, a large chunk of our audience are probably born after the 1990s, who wouldn't be aware about what happened in the 90s, what Mumbai was, and that is where your Karyashali comes in into focus. So tell me about when you came in here and you were entrusted this task to wipe out the underworld.
Yeah, I'll come to this, madam, with your permission, if you agree. I will talk about this Gen Z and how they don't know about this. Can I take a minute of that?
Sure, absolutely.
This book, even though talks about the vintage crime, because I handled it in 1998, 2001, 2002 onwards, there has not been a shootout either by criminals or by the police. So even the generation next of the police officers, IPS and others don't know what is this violence all about. Blood flowing on the marble floor they never seen. So are the rich, high-heeled children whose parents have suffered, gone through the ignominy of some gangster stepping into their house and threatening them with a gun. So I have written this book to leave a kind of a legacy for the police officers in this generation and the next generation, so that in case this happens again and again, what should they do? So that is one. Second is to educate generation next as to what would happen if it repeats. Okay. Now, has it been completely wiped out in the country? Answer is no. For example, repeated attempts on Salman Khan, frightening him and thus frightening the entire Bollywood, says that this zoner of crime has not been forgotten. Okay. The other day, Disha Patni or Patani, her house in Bareilly, somebody fired on the walls.
Yeah.
Now, all these things are not as innocent as it sounds. And this is a signal. You pay, otherwise we'll go closer to your heart to shoot at the heart. For example, Rakesh Roshan was shot on the arm. It could have been 2 inches this side, it would be his heart. So this is all to frighten people and eke out money. Money in humongous amount. Abu Salam did, Izaz Lakdawala did, so many others. Now it is the turn of Lawrence Bishnoi. For all his projects all over the world, maybe he is funding and financing by targeting a soft underbellied thing called the Bollywood. So this book is not as vintage as we think. This is happening. For example, if you remember in Rohini of your Delhi, in the court, in front of everyone, a lawyer and others were shot dead. This is what precisely happened in Mumbai in the year 1983. 2 incidents with Dawood Ibrahim and his gang and the opposite. 2 weeks difference, 6th September 1983 was the first incident where 4 people were shot. And then after 2 weeks, the other gang was brought and they were shot. The gap is 6 to 20th, that is 16 days time. 14 days time. So that is repeating. We are not putting the dots are not linked, not connected. Like Chennai it happens, in Delhi it happens, Bangalore it happens. So this is not a forgotten affair at all. Yeah. So this book I have written more as a chronology of events as to what happened and what are the strategies I adopted to revert the to change the history of crime.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.